Hello, content heroes. Josiah here, and I am so pumped up. Um, I just got done doing a panel presentation with some other business leaders to talk about organic growth, organic audience traffic growth, and audience growth through different platforms. And so we had an amazing lineup. We had a Pinterest expert, we had an Instagram expert, we had a Facebook groups expert. We had someone who was shared their successes on just incredible successes on launching, like doing a soft launch to an existing list and how they built up their email list. And then I got to talk about one of my favorite things in the world, as you could guess, it's podcasting. So I got to share the story of how I was able to grow my authority in my niche and grow an audience organically through having conversations with really interesting, helpful people and telling stories and being consistent and being in alignment with myself and with my audience and with my business. And so I think we decided that the core theme of all of that. So no matter what platform you're on or what it is that you're doing, the biggest thing that is a contributor to your success is, you guessed it, consistency. So you heard it here first. Everyone, that was we all hammered that home of like, you got to focus on, especially if you're starting out, pick one platform, focus on it, and just stay consistent, because that's how you build trust. When you've heard me talk about this over and over again, that's how you build trust with your audience, and that's how you build trust with yourself, and gain that confidence to really show up and be your true self. And so it was really amazing to learn from these other business leaders and hear them validate some of the things that we've been talking about on the podcast and in the Facebook group and in these live streams. So it was just an incredible time, and it really got me thinking about, thinking about fueling business growth with your podcast or whatever it is that you're doing, and how you can tie your content to that. It really got me thinking about, because so many people are creating a lot of content, and it's not doing that. And I call that, like with a podcast, I call that a hobby podcast versus a business podcast. And so it got me thinking about, what is the difference between a hobby and a business? And you're like, Josiah, that's a dumb question. One makes money and the other one doesn't, right? But let me ask you this: can you have a hobby that makes money? So if you go out and you're doing some yard sailing, and then you come back and you sell that stuff online, on the weekends, and you make a 10% profit from that. Is that a hobby or is that a business? Right? Can you have a hobby that makes money? And then on the flip side of that, can you have a business that doesn't make money? If you look at certain people's tax returns, that's definitely the case. It seems that you can have a business that doesn't make money. So what is the difference between a hobby and a business? And from my perspective, the difference is growth. So where are you heading? It's the direction that you're going. That's really that differentiator, and that where things change from being a hobby and turn into being a business. So even if you're just starting out and you haven't made that money yet, you haven't started bringing in revenue, you're still, well, let's flip this around. So you're not just going to magically one day, say you go out and you have a hobby podcast and you're just, creating a bunch of content, and it's not just going to magically one day start making money for you, right? You have to be intentional about it. You have to be heading in that direction. You have to set your sights on turning it into a business and get serious about it. And that's a big differentiator as well, as how seriously are you taking your business. And we talked about this on the podcast episode this week with Parker Stevenson. People who, like, serious business owners, take their finances seriously. And that's one aspect of it. But the other aspect of it is consistency, alignment, and being strategic about how you're tying your content back to your business and the revenue pillars in your business, and how you're taking people on a journey from where they are to where they want to be, and what offer you're putting in front of them to make that happen. And so all that to say, be intentional about where you're going. If you want to have a hobby podcast or whatever other platform you're in, that's totally fine. If you're just doing it because you love it, that's totally fine. But if you're telling yourself that it's a business, but you're not taking it seriously, you're not focused on growth, you're not heading in that direction, then it's not a business. It's still a hobby. So get serious and get honest with yourself and get serious about becoming that business leader here first, and here first, right? And then head in that direction, and be committed to growing your business. So that's the difference between a hobby and a business. Speaking of, I am incredibly excited to announce that I am starting a mastermind, the only mastermind for business leaders who want to solidify authority in their niche with content. The way that I have done it over the past year with the Content Heroes. And so if you're interested in that, go to contentheroes.com/fuel. And you can join the waitlist there to be the first to hear when we officially open the doors for the mastermind. It's going to be incredible. So many amazing plans. And I can't wait to see the transformation that will happen for people in this group when we really come together and focus on consistency and alignment and holding each other accountable and fueling business growth. So it's going to be incredible. Contentheroes.com/fuel to join the waitlist for that. And until next time, go be a hero, everyone.